All right, you guys, it is that time of year where we start planning out our homeschool schedules and how we would like to see things go. Today, I will be sharing what our morning basket schedule is going to look like this year. We ended up not even doing our morning basket last year, and as I have been reflecting on, things that have worked and haven't worked and what we have loved doing in our homeschool, I realized that I needed to work our morning basket back into our daily homeschool routine. So I am going to be sharing what our schedule for that is going to look like. This is a collaboration hosted by myself and Devine over at Calm in the Chaos Homeschool, and other mamas are going to be joining today, sharing all of what their homeschool planning or their schedules look like. So make sure that you check that out at the end of the video. All right, so I'm gonna go ahead and flip around the camera and give you guys a look at the paper schedule that I made just so you can get a good visual of what I have planned. All right, you guys, so I printed it out on a piece of paper that I'm probably gonna laminate just so I can stick this into our morning basket and have something to refer to while I'm still trying to get back on, just a basic homeschool rhythm routine with the kids. So these are the things that I want to do daily. I want to start each day with taking 10 minutes and playing with each kid. So that's going to be about 30 minutes. And then we're going to start with watching World Watch News. Each episode is about 10 minutes long, so it shouldn't take too long. And then we're going to be doing some catechism questions. So I figure about 5 to 10 minutes, maybe even less than that. And then we're going to be doing a daily read aloud. And I'm going to be setting aside 15 to 20 minutes for that. And then Monday, we'll do our Beautiful Feet books, music appreciation. You do that once a week, and it's 30 to 60 minutes long, depending on the lesson, but I'm going to break it up over the course of 2 days. So we're actually going to do it Monday and Wednesday. And so I figure, 15 to 30 minutes per lesson. And I'm hoping that's more on like the 15-minute side of things because I really want to keep our morning basket at about an hour and a half. As the kids get older, I notice that we really need to tighten up when we're starting our homeschool day. It can't keep being as free-flowy as it has been the last 2 years. And so I really want to get started on our day no later than 8:30. And so I would like to be done with the morning basket by 9:30. So we'll be doing that for Mondays, and then we'll also be doing a hymn study. And then on Tuesdays and Thursdays, we'll be doing Beautiful Feet Books art appreciation, and that'll take about 15 to 30 minutes as well. And then on Tuesdays, we're going to be working in some of the IEW poetry. I figure that won't probably take more than 10 minutes, but it might kind of flow over to 15, just depending on how long we're taking. And then Wednesdays, we will do Faithopedia. If you guys haven't seen it, it's this really cool set from Not Consumed. I have a video that I'll try to link up here in case you wanted to check it out, but it goes over all of the books of the Bible. They have it separated from Old Testament and New Testament, and you read popular scriptures for each book, and then you go over some missionaries and definitions of words that you'll find in the Bible and things like that. And it's really, really cool. So I want to be working that in and be better about using that this year. And then on Thursdays, we have a personal finance book. And so I want to start doing that with the kids and just getting them to think about being more responsible with their money. We already do Dave Ramsey as a family, but we have the kids follow his kids program. I mean, it's not really like a program, but it's just, I don't know, a way of life at this point. So I really want them to just continue learning about money and learning how to be responsible with it. And then I put Fridays up here. This is going to be kind of more of our fun days. So we're going to be doing Faithopedia, and then we're going to do something called Dishing Up Devotions. It's a really cool book that I bought a few years ago, or maybe about a year and a half ago, and I just haven't had a chance to use it. All right, you guys, so I started explaining what dishing up devotions was, but then I figured, I'll just go get the book and show it to you, just because I think it's worth showing, but I also know that when you can see it, it makes it a little easier. So this is really sweet because you get, I believe, 36 different activities. And so hopefully you guys can see that. So anyway, as you go to, let's say, like the first activity, you get some scripture reading on being set apart. And then she goes into a little story of her own. And then she'll give you a prayer to pray. And then an affirmation. So this week's theme is set apart. So it says, "My children are set apart for a godly purpose. I will not conform to this world." And then she gives you an idea for a family activity. And then it says baking buddies. So explore why we set cookies apart from one another on the baking tray. Place 2 balls of dough right next to each other as you bake the first batch. Ask your children what they think will happen to those 2 cookies that haven't been set apart. Then show how they conform to one another as they bake. This alters the shape and course of the cookie's life, and the same thing happens when we conform to the world around us instead of living set apart. And then she gives you a recipe, and I really like this because I'm not sure if all of them are, but the majority that I've seen are all gluten-free. So I think that's really cool because one of my kids is gluten-free, and I'm always afraid that they're going to feel left out of things. So I love when I can find things that, cater to those sensitivities and allergies. And then it gives you a note that, if you don't need gluten-free, then you can just use regular flour, and then just tips for the recipe. And then it basically moves on. So this is nothing that is, going to take a long time. And this is something that I think is very sweet and reminds you to take the time to just be with them and focus on connection. And I love that she ties the word into doing that. So I think that this is a great book. I will try to link this down below in case you wanted to check it out and see if it's something that would be good for your family. So I just wanted to show you guys that real quick. I'm going back to the schedule now. And so I thought that that would be fun to do with them, just to focus more on connections instead of just curriculum and all of the academic things. And then next, we're going to be doing Creating a Masterpiece. This is a really cool art program. When I initially looked at it, it looked kind of pricey if memory serves correct. But somebody locally was going to do a group purchase, and so a whole bunch of moms went in on it, and I think it ended up being like $30. So we're going to be doing some of the art projects from there. You basically follow along while they paint or draw or sketch a masterpiece. And so that we've done a few lessons and it's been fun. So I want to work that in on Fridays. And then we'll just finish up with a hymn study review. And so that is basically everything at a glance. We'll have the things that we do every single day, and then just about 2 things each day. And then Fridays will be a little bit more. But that's also just because we have our co-op on Fridays. So I know that sometimes we're not even going to be doing this. And then on the, when we don't have our co-op classes, we'll be more freed up. And so our days will be a little lighter. So our morning basket can go a little longer. So I think that this will hopefully be a good routine. I'm going to go ahead and flip around the camera now. All right, you guys. So that is basically the schedule that I have for our morning basket. It's not anything that's, super hard pressed yet, just because we haven't started our homeschool year. So I know that once we start it, I'm going to have to find ways to be flexible with it and, tailor it a little bit more. So if I do make any changes to it, I'll update you guys at some point in one of my upcoming videos. Let me know down below, what does your morning basket or just your regular homeschool schedule look like? What have you found works and doesn't work? I would love to hear it and just kind of glean more knowledge from all of you. If you like this video, don't forget to give me a big thumbs up. Hit that red subscribe button. Don't forget to go check out the playlist. I will have that link down below, and I will see you guys again later. Bye.